Good morning friends. My name's Bronny. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all about how I bought my house at 18 years old. So first, I just wanted to thank you all for clicking on this video and for checking out my channel. If you haven't been here before, welcome. My name is Bronny Cooper. I tend to post videos on here about once a week. I also blog over on my blog, Bronny's Brew. I'll have it linked down below if you want to check it out. So in today's video, I thought I would share with you guys all about how I bought my house when I was 18 years old. I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the backstory and why I bought my house at 18 and how I bought my house at 18 and all that stuff. Okay, so first I figured that we should start with a bit of a backstory. So I met my husband when we were 12 years old and we started dating when we were 14. We dated all through high school. We never broke up or anything like that. We stayed steady all the way through. And then we made the decision that at 18, like a month after we graduated, that we were ready to move out and live on our own. But not only did we just decide to rent an apartment and get our own place a few minutes away from our parents, we moved 16 hours away. So I know to a lot of people that sounds really crazy that at 18 you don't really know what you want with your life. But Keenan and I are just a little bit different than most people. We've kind of just known from the beginning that we were each other's person and that this is what we were meant to do. So we felt completely comfortable with the idea of moving out and buying our first house at only 18 years old. Although a lot of people did tell me I was crazy, like adults. They looked at me like this. They're like, okay, have fun. It's fine. We're good. We're married now, so I told you so. We made the decision to move 16 hours away, not only because this is where I decided I wanted to go to school for my post-secondary education, but also because the housing market up here in Thunder Bay is extremely cheap. Since I was going to university and Keenan wasn't, it was kind of my choice on where we ended up going. I was stuck between McMaster in Hamilton and Lakehead in Thunder Bay. And just based on the financials of both of them and everything like that, we made the decision that moving up here and buying a house here not only was extremely cheaper, a fraction of the price, the school was also just a much better option for me because I wanted to be a person and not just a number. So going to a smaller school in a smaller city was something that I wanted to do. So basically, I told Keenan that I wanted him to move with me to Thunder Bay to buy our house. And he was on board, which bless him. He's incredible for choosing to do that with me. So that's what we did. So in the big picture of things, it really makes a difference on whether you're renting or buying when it comes to your financial situation. So first of all, being able to buy a house is an extreme blessing, and to have the finances to do that is incredible. And I am extremely lucky that I was given that opportunity. But we made the choice that we were going to buy instead of rent simply because it was cheaper, and we felt that renting when we could afford to buy a house was just throwing money away into something that wasn't ever going to be ours. Buying a house just put us a step ahead of where we wanted to be in our lives, and it gave us more of a security about where things were going to go with our lives. I also want to add that we have pets, and finding a place that would allow a 110-pound dog to stay there would be really tricky for renting, and a cat. So we decided that we wanted all those things, and the things that we wanted to do with our lives involved more of us renting a whole house, which is extremely expensive and we could not afford. So we bought instead. So I'm going to get into the part that I'm sure most people are wondering about: how I was able to afford to buy a house at 18 years old. And although I worked extremely hard throughout high school, I would work sometimes up to 35, 40 hours a week while going to school. I'm not going to stand here and say that I did it all by myself, because I didn't. Well, I guess I did. It's my money. So what happened was, when I was younger, I was in gymnastics, trampoline, lesson, things like that, because I've never been a football, soccer, really active team player sports person. I've been more of I'm gonna do it for myself type person. So I did trampoline lessons. Well, my coach threw a ball, not just like a small medicine ball, like the big yoga ones, underneath me because they were playing a game with one of those while I was jumping on a trampoline. And I landed on it, tore out my ACL and my meniscuses and had to get surgery on it. So I sued him. So essentially, the money that I got from that lawsuit is what I used to buy my house. I decided that at 18 years old that buying a house with that money was one of my best choices and one of my best investments. Not only was it somewhere for me to live cheaply month to month, it was also something that was going to be an investment into my future and like something that I had that put me ahead of other people in my like generation when it came to being the typical age to buy a house. So what happened was I turned 18 in March, which is when they allow people who sued as a minor to receive their funds. So I got my money in March, turned 18 in March, was still in school, in high school, and bought my house in May. So I bought my house while in high school. I have not thought about that before. I bought a house in high school. I just want to make clear that I understand that not many people at all are given this opportunity that I have, and I am extremely blessed and extremely lucky to not only have that money in order to buy a house at 18, but to have the support system of people around me who helped me accomplish things like owning a house and going to school every single day. My husband is an extreme support because he continues to work while I'm in school and is able to help pay our mortgage and our bills and all that stuff. He also helps with renovating our house so that hopefully in the future we can sell for more than we bought it for. Also to my parents because they believe that I can do it and they've supported me to do it. So when you're 18 and in high school and buying a house, you obviously don't have a credit when you just turned 18 and you can only get a credit card once you're 18. So I needed my parents to co-sign on my house. So the fact that they trusted me enough and knew that I was able to make my payments and they believed that I would be fine, so they were able to sign that for me. I'm extremely lucky to have that. And although I acknowledge that a lot of people don't have the same opportunity to buy a house at 18 or extremely young like I did, I do encourage it if you have the means to. It is one of the best investments I have made in my entire life. If you're in the right financial situation to do something like this, then I recommend it 100%. Even if you're only buying to rent it out and still living at home with your parents, if you have the money to put yourself in this situation and to have a house and to build this investment, I think it is one of the best decisions you can make as a young individual in our current financial environment. And I know it sounds ridiculous coming from someone like me who just told you that I won a lawsuit to buy my house. Keenan and I have been living in this house for 3 years now. We got the keys on July 25th of 2016. We were 18 then, and now we're in July of 2019 and we're 21. Keenan and I actually found the video that he filmed of me walking into my house for the first time when I got the keys. So I'm going to insert those clips here now, and I hope you like seeing how excited I was to get this house. Come on to my house!
Yeah, it kind of does.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. Oh my goodness. We're probably gonna have to bring the furniture in here.
You happy?
Yeah. Go stairs?
Yeah.
Stairs. Oh, 3 hangers.
Thanks.
I hate these stairs. Oh, there's a closet. I don't remember there being a closet.
Bought the house, didn't know.
Is the bed gonna fit in here? This is gonna be my spare room.
Yeah.
This is my house! As you can see throughout the video, our house is extremely old. It was built in 1910. It's like a small pre-war house. They actually used to have a hospital like a few streets down. So all the big houses that are on the other end of my street are like where the doctors and stuff lived, and then our houses down here are where all the nurses and people lived. So we live in like this quaint little cute house, and although in the video I mentioned several times that I love it, I do love my house, but it's taken some time because it's old. Nothing's even, the walls are a little cracked. I'm pretty sure it's haunted, but over time we've definitely made it a space of our own. And lately I've really been feeling nostalgic about it because although we're in no position to move again anytime soon, I keep having this feeling that one day we're gonna move, and like the house that we're going to bring our first baby home to, and like the house that we renovated to make our own and put in the kitchen and did the basement, and like all the memories we have in this house, it's just, whew. I know it's like at least half a decade away, but it's still like, hits me right here a little bit. So once again, I just want to say that I know I am extremely lucky and extremely blessed to be given this situation and to be able to afford my house at such a young age. We've been here now for 3 years, and I can say that I am so happy and pleased with the life that I get to live and the life that I've created for myself in our home. So if you're interested in more about me, I do things a little bit differently with my life. I do things the way I want to and don't really care about what other people have to think about me. For example, I got married at 20. I started trying for a baby at 19. That's a long story. We'll talk about that another time. I'm a little different. So if you like this video and other videos on my channel, I hope you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and make sure you check out my blog linked down below. Over there I talk about a bunch of stuff like my fertility struggles, my home renovations, a bunch of stuff. I hope to see you guys next week in my next video. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a kitchen renovation update #1. I'm pretty sure that's what it's gonna be. So I hope to see you guys next week. Bye guys.